The hidden meaning of a mole below the left collarbone. Have you ever noticed a mole on your body and wondered, does it mean something? In many cultures, a mole is not just a random spot of skin. It is seen as a mark, a sign, even a story written on the body long before you were born. And today we're going to talk about a very specific placement. A mole that sits just below the collarbone on the left side, about 1 or 2 inches lower than the beauty bone. This is more than just a point on your chest. It is a place loaded with symbolism, spiritual energy, and ancient meaning. Before we begin, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who has a mole in this area, because they might discover something about themselves they never realized. Across the world, from India to China, from the Middle East to Europe, ancient systems of wisdom believed the body was a map of your spirit. Every mark, every scar, every freckle, every mole was a signpost of your life's energy and your soul's journey. In Indian Samudrika Shastra, the science of reading the body, moles are considered karmic signatures, evidence of lessons your soul is here to learn. In Chinese mole interpretation, these spots can signify luck, destiny, and personality traits. And in Sufi and Persian thought, the placement of a mole can be described in poetry as a seal of beauty, a mark of fate, or the whisper of a divine touch. So when we talk about a mole 2 inches below the left collarbone, we are talking about a mark that sits between the physical heart and the energy center of the throat. It's in the upper chest, close enough to feel the heartbeat, close enough to sense the voice. In metaphysical traditions, this area aligns with the anahata, the heart chakra. The heart chakra is the home of love, compassion, empathy, and forgiveness. It's where emotional wounds are stored, and where emotional healing begins. A mole here suggests a life deeply influenced by matters of the heart. This doesn't only mean romance, it can mean friendships, family relationships, and the way you connect with humanity as a whole. The mole becomes like a tiny reminder. You will love deeply, you will care deeply, and sometimes that depth will bring you both joy and pain. Why does the left side matter? In energy philosophy, the body's left side is connected to yin energy, the feminine, the receptive, the intuitive side of existence. A mole here can mean that your emotional life is guided by intuition. You feel people's moods without them saying a word. You notice the subtle changes in a tone of voice, the shift in a glance, the unspoken truths in a room. It can also suggest that your life is influenced by feminine energies. This could be the guidance of a mother, grandmother, sister, or mentor. And sometimes it points to karmic lessons involving the women in your family line. Let's go deeper into specific traditions. In Indian mole reading, a mole just below the left collarbone is said to symbolize a generous heart. Such a person may have a tendency to give more than they receive, offering emotional support, love, or resources without always expecting anything in return. But it also comes with a caution. Generosity without boundaries can lead to emotional exhaustion. In Chinese mole interpretation, this placement is associated with grace, charm, and luck in relationships. People may be drawn to you without quite knowing why. The mole acts almost like a magnet, a subtle point of attraction that resonates on both a physical and energetic level. However, it also carries a lesson about balance. Not every connection is meant to stay in your life forever. In Middle Eastern and Persian poetry, the upper chest is often called the seat of the soul. A mole here is a poetic omen, the stamp placed by love itself. It means you will encounter love in its purest form, but also that you will know the kind of longing that shapes the human spirit. From a symbolic standpoint, the collarbone area is like a gate. It guards the heart, lungs, and throat, some of the most vital organs in the body. Having a mole just below this protective line can be interpreted as a mark of guardianship. It suggests that your emotional and spiritual well-being is something you're meant to actively protect. It's as if the mole is whispering, "Your heart is powerful, but it is also precious. Guard it well." Now, let's talk about karma. A mole in this area can represent unfinished lessons from a past life involving emotional vulnerability, love, and self-expression. In one life, you may have been someone who spoke love openly but was misunderstood. In another, you may have guarded your emotions so tightly that love passed you by. This life may be the one where you learn the balance, to open your heart without losing yourself, to give without being drained, to speak your truth without fear of rejection. People with a mole in this location often share certain qualities: deep empathy for others, strong intuition in relationships, an almost magnetic presence in social settings, a natural ability to comfort and soothe those in distress. However, there is also a tendency toward emotional overinvestment in others' problems, difficulty saying no, carrying emotional weight that doesn't belong to them. The spiritual advice for someone with this mole is simple: learn the art of boundaries without losing the warmth of your heart. In modern metaphysical thinking, this mole's placement connects the heart, emotions, and the throat, communication. It suggests that your life's growth comes from expressing what's in your heart, whether through words, art, service, or acts of love. If you've ever felt like you have something important to share but hesitated, this mark could be seen as your soul's nudge to speak up, to let love flow not only inward but outward. If this is resonating with you so far, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss future videos about the hidden meanings behind the marks on your body. Throughout history, beauty spots and moles have been considered marks of destiny. In 18th century Europe, women would even place artificial beauty marks on their faces or chests to symbolize certain qualities: flirtation, mystery, nobility. But in older, more mystical traditions, these marks weren't decorative. They were destiny. A mole below the left collarbone would have been seen as a gift and a test. The gift, the ability to form deep, meaningful bonds. The test, the need to protect your own energy while doing so. If you have a mole here are some ways to honor its meaning. Guard your energy. Not everyone is entitled to your deepest emotional self. Express your truth. Speak from the heart even when it feels uncomfortable. Practice discernment. Intuition is your ally. Trust it. Balance giving and receiving. Remember, love flows in both directions. A mole just below the left collarbone isn't random. In ancient and modern spiritual traditions, it's a mark that says, your heart will shape your life. Your connections will shape your destiny. It's a reminder that the most powerful thing you can do is live with both openness and wisdom. To love, to connect, to share, but also to honor yourself in the process. So the next time your eyes fall on that little mark, know that it's not just a dot. It's a message, a story, a guidepost. And perhaps it's your soul's way of saying, your heart is your greatest gift, use it well. If you found this talk inspiring, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more spiritual insights, and share it with someone who might have a similar mark. You never know. This little conversation might open a big door of self-discovery for them.